Hi, I'm Zach Nadler, Chief Information Officer of Nadler Insurance. This week, my dad Paul and I will be trading places. I'll be doing the introductions and taste tests, while my dad will be doing all the cooking. He's making my mom's famous Oven Roasted Beef Brisket. It's delicious comfort food, so let's go see what's cooking with Nadler Insurance.
Paul Nadler Insurance Services, and today we're going to make beef brisket. It's a family favorite to serve for a crowd, and you make it a day ahead of time. And we're going to show you the simple process to make beef brisket. When you go to your butcher, you ask them to provide you with a first cut brisket. Try to trim off as much fat as you can, and then you need to have a few spices and roughly 3 hours of baking. Okay, so now what you need to do is you have your spices available, and first you want to season one side of the brisket. So we want to use about half of the package. Of course, we're putting on some garlic, some powdered onions, some paprika, and some pepper. Then we take about half the onions that we have, spread it out over the bottom of the pan. Then we're going to take the brisket. We're going to rub this in because we're going to flip this over. And you want to buy roughly a half a pound to 3/4 of a pound per person. Okay, and then we're going to put the rest of these ingredients on. Some more onions, and some pepper. And then we add water, and we want to put water off to the side, not to disturb the spices. I'm going to put the lid on our brisket. Our oven is preheated to 355 degrees. Now this baby's going to go in for an hour. With the magic of television, we'll be back in an hour. Now the timer's just about to ding that the first hour is done. Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision. Okay. So then what you have to do is you have to turn the brisket over. See, while you guys weren't looking, we added a second brisket because we're expecting a lot of company tomorrow. And you just turn it over, and now it goes back in the oven for another hour, and then we will continue from there. And now we're just about to get the second hour, so there we go. So it's looking great, smells great. Then don't forget the special ingredient, and we got this ingredient from my wife's girlfriend Terry, and you have to use this Dawn Fresh mushroom sauce. And so you want to sprinkle that on the top. It's going to add some moisture. And at the same time, if some of your company is not a beef fan, you can also add chicken breasts or other chicken parts in here, and it will also help soak up some of the juices, and you'll have nice tender chicken to go along with your beef brisket. So now this is going to go back in the oven for another hour. Low again, and now our 3 hours are up, and you can smell it. It's about to ding. Glasses. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to take out one of these bad boys. And you'll notice it does shrink as it cooks, and that's normal. And I'd like to show you, we only added, for the 2 pieces of brisket, a cup of water and all those dry vegetables and spices, and by simmering for 3 hours, the juice came out of the meat and we now have this nice broth. But this goes back in, so you'll see how we use that in a moment. After I've put it on the cutting board, I like to trim off any excess fat because my family likes it very lean, and if there's a hunk of fat, then I trim that first. Now it's easier before I start slicing the brisket itself. And so you want to cut the slices approximately 1/4 of an inch in thickness. And then what we'll do is we'll lay the slices in the Pyrex. And after we've covered the bottom, we'll start taking some of the juice. So this way, overnight, it will absorb, the meat will absorb back some of that moisture and make it more tender when we actually have the dinner party tomorrow. And what is great about this dish is that you can prepare it ahead of time, get your kitchen all clean and ready, so when you serve it tomorrow for your guests, you can sit down and enjoy it right with them. We have 2 layers from the first brisket. Then we're going to take the juice with all the onions and the spices, and too bad you can't smell that. And put that on. We'll eventually put it all on, but at first I want to get the other brisket in there. And then it's going to soak in these juices overnight. Then tomorrow, prior to our dinner party, we'll just take it out, we'll pop it in the oven about 20 minutes to warm up, and then you'll get to see everybody as they taste it. You want to get the saran to sit right on top. So as this will get cold, the fat will rise and it will stick to the saran. And then tomorrow, when we take the saran off, before we warm it in the oven, the fat will come right off the saran wrap. Hello, we're back with Zach, and we want to do a taste test to see how did our brisket come out today. So Zach, let's pick up the fork.
All right, we've got it all plated up. It's very tender. You can cut it with a fork. You don't even need a knife.
You see how juicy?
Just dissolves in the mouth, barely have to chew. It's so juicy, it's lean, so tender, delicious, flavorful. Definitely something I wouldn't mind having leftovers the next day.
And remember, the key is you have to cook it the night ahead of time so you can let it soak in the juices overnight, because that makes it even more tender the second or third day.
That's what's cooking with Nadler Insurance.
Please follow us on nadlerinsurance.com/cooking, as well as following us on Facebook and Twitter to get the recipe cards. And remember to insure your stash with Nadler Insurance. Thank you.